Unlike Rush Limbaugh, I am not a weapon of mass instruction. But haven't we seen something weaponized in our United States Constitution? By the way, I'm Mel McGinnis, and this is the Sophie Scholl Society, where we talk about politics and religion and use philosophy in order to be well-spoken in the public square and the political arena. And certainly, we see impeachment in the political arena. I heard Bill Hemmer, who is a host of a Fox News show, say, aside from the declaration of war, impeachment is probably the next serious thing in our Constitution. And I keep hearing one side of the aisle, particularly Democrats, saying that they are approaching this prayerfully, solemnly, sorrowfully. And I'm sorry, I have a hard time believing that. Because I think that what we are seeing is vengeance being played out. They are bound up in a crass political agenda coupled with their hurt feelings to get someone they hate by weaponizing the Constitution through the impeachment clause to get rid of Trump. That's what I feel is going on. And as we see this process taking place, are we observing due process or a partisan witch hunt? I feel like when we look at the grounds for impeachment, high crimes and misdemeanor, we're seeing low grounds for impeachment when we observe the Democrats changing the target from week to week, from quid pro quo to treason to bribery, and whatever happens to be the moving target from one week to another. It's impeachment light, as I've heard it said, based on flimsy, weak, shallow reasoning. In fact, Greg Jarrett, Fox News, made a good point. He said, this isn't about reason, it's about rage. This isn't about proof, it's about presumption. I read an article by Michael Henry in the Oxford Eagle, and this is what he wrote. Lavrenti Beria, the most ruthless and longest-serving Secret Service chief in Joseph Stalin's reign of terror in Russia and Eastern Europe, bragged about how he could prove criminal conduct on anyone, even the innocent. Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime, was Beria's infamous boast. He served as the deputy premier from 1941 until Stalin's death in 1953. And he supervised the expansion of the gulags and other secret detention facilities for political prisoners. Beria targeted the man. I should say Beria. I don't want to get it confused with a biblical city. Beria targeted the man first, then proceeded to find or fabricate a crime. Beria's modus operandi was to presume the man guilty and fill in the blanks later. What have we been hearing ever since Trump was elected? Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump! Not only from the leftist politicians, I think we've been hearing that in the echo chamber of the media. And when I say media, I'm talking about the left-leaning media. What I find really amazing is, as this impeachment vote will take place in the full House this week, is what Jerry Nadler said. Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, it was about last year or 2 years ago when he said, impeachment ought to be a bipartisan process. In other words, if you're going to impeach somebody, you ought to have people on both sides of the aisle join in on the impeachment. I just heard the vote in the Judiciary Committee. And that vote was strictly on partisan lines. 23-17. 23 Democrats for impeachment, 17 Republicans against it. That's not bipartisan. No wonder people are getting cynical about politicians who will express an opinion one way, and then when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, they do the opposite of what you are hearing. Well, that's it for now, and unlike Tony Kornheiser, I cannot promise that I'll do better the next time.